happy Wednesday to everybody out there. It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. Everyone's finally finished with their work. And or if they're still doing their homework, okay, hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's Wednesday. We made it over the middle of the week. And I feel like I have also been losing my edge because normally I have all my waiting rooms literally put up during the week. I've been slacking. I've been a little bit of a slacker. My bad. I've been doing a little slacking. And apparently me updating my OBS actually fixed the frame rate drop problem. Yay! Fantastic. My OBS was literally throwing a fit just because it was like, you didn't update me, so I'm going to throttle your frames. I think it's Wednesday and I've kind of like gone a little mad. I've gone a little crazy. And it's also been so long since I last played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. It's been like ages. I feel like what happened? Hmm. I think I got sick. I think I was sick. I can't remember. Something paused it. I think maybe I did get sick. I did like cozy week and then I got sick and then I think I had cozy week, then it was Honkai Star Rail drop, and then I got sick, and then there's like some weird, never mind, there was just like a weird combination of events. It was just a very strange combination of events that occurred. It was very weird. And I don't know what happened. But yeah, good. We're back with Phoenix Wright at the very least. We are back with Phoenix Wright at the very least. I don't remember half of the voices I gave people, so we're going to be definitely playing by ear. I don't even know if my southern accent's going to be very good. I don't know if my southern accent is going to come back. I don't know. I can't summon the mighty boot hill with this. The Zephyr southern voice is going to make everybody so happy. But yes, for advice, I am not a professional. I just do stuff for the giggles. And I don't even remember where we left off on. I think hard think we were on either the investigation portion or we went to the courtroom. Hey y'all. I cannot remember what we did. Hey y'all. Welcome in, make yourself at home. We're just vibing for a few minutes and I'm just getting my thoughts out real quick. I don't remember where we left off. All I remember is I do probably need to like look up a guide every once in a while for the 6th chapter. That's funny. Oh yeah, I guess I could probably say this. I did do some adjustments in my summary section. In case you didn't notice during the Echoes of the Plum Grove, I did adjust my where my rules are positioned mainly, just so they're a little bit more ease of access for people who are brand new to kind of like take a look at. Just for some helpful tips. Do I have anything I really need to talk about today other than the fact that I have just didn't have, I don't think I have a lot to report. We're just vibing. Other than the just the slight adjustment to like my description boxes and everything. Oh, I could say I will say this, and I'll probably leave this up for most of the stream. I got a Brain Blast for an incentive goal, and I'm still planning on doing the Hell of a Boss and Has-Been Hotel karaoke, but I need to like take some time to get that around because I know Zone really wants to hang out with that one, so I need to like confirm with them about like, you know, where like times and everything, because I think Zone is actually like on a slightly different time zone than I am. So trying to come up with a dual karaoke would definitely take some finessing because most of those songs are like 90% duets anyways. Oh yeah, okay, so the incentive for the day. The incentive for the evening is, so I think because I don't know if it'll happen, but I might go ahead and put up the incentive goal for letting you guys essentially take over a day of my schedule if we meet it. It's not going to be a very large one, but I will make a solemn vow if we get them by next week. I will begrudgingly. I will. Oh, hi, Samurai. Welcome in. How's it going? It's going good. I have a very slight headache, but we work with that regardless. I was just about ready to talk about my my super chat incentive for the evening. There was a gnat and it was almost gonna fly into my mouth. That thing has been buzzing around for the ages and I have not gotten rid of it. I've tried. It has just come back. It's like gold. It's like freaking purple guy. He always comes back. William Afton. That's it. Okay. Anyway, what I was talking about. I have a goal. I'm gonna write up real quick. I'm gonna make it down to just 5. I'll set the timer for the 3 hours. We shouldn't take that long, but if I get all 5 of them and I'm making them like teal and higher, which is like $5 and over, I will begrudgingly play Uma Musume next week. I will begrudgingly play Uma Musume next week. And at some point, maybe if I'm able to find a proper source, maybe we can do a members watch along for Uma Musume anime. Let me just mark this up real quick. Hang on. There you go. This is just so you guys have like full control. I'll let it go live here in just a moment. I'll let it go live when we start actually playing Phoenix Wright, but that's the goal for the day. And I'll set it up at 3 hours as soon as we start entering the courtroom. That way there's plenty of time to do so, hopefully. I figured like 5 super chats is enough to make me play Uma Musume. Like I said, the last time I've done super chat incentives, I have learned my lesson of making too big of goals with my lovely size that we've got. So it's all good. I think 5 is pretty attainable, depending on how it goes tonight. And you know what? Even if we don't, we may try it anyways, because I was told by Paka that if it's free and if I don't like it, it's not my thing. But this is a great way for you guys to take over my chat. Yeah, that's why I set up for 3 hours, because probably we're gonna be here for 3 hours. Anyway, that gnat is going to drive me nuts. I swear I have a trap set up and the trap is not working. The trap that I set up for the gnats are not working, and I need to figure out why that is. Maybe I just need to actually get like the proper bait. I want these out of my house. This is why I don't. This is the one reason why I don't like summer and enclosed spaces. For some reason, as much as I do try to keep things clean around the house, the gnats come in and they just invade. They're not as bad as last year though, but like they're still like, why? Why are you here? Why are you here to make me suffer? Get in my way. Anyway, I do have water, by the way, because Zephyr's gonna be running her throat dry. And I got like a little bit of sparkling lemonade left. I think I have got enough moisture to cover everything. But yeah, we've got a long way to go in the Phoenix Wright series. If I keep like procrastinating literally everything else, if I keep procrastinating it, we're gonna be playing Phoenix Wright until like the next Phoenix Wright game is going to come out as soon as I finish up the series, or I'm like not even through the trials and tribulations. Or Justice for All or something like that. Because Phoenix Wright is... Dang it. Missed it. Sorry about that. If you hear me randomly clap, that is me trying to destroy the creature. Also, my mic is like really wobbly and really loose, and it's been very much concerning me. I really need to find like a better stand where it's like it can hold the mic and it doesn't. The one problem I have is with my setup, for whatever reason, none of my stuff ever wants to screw properly. So like I have like things that are slightly loose, and I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. I am pretty sure everything is supposed to be very secure, but unfortunately for me, a lot of the stuff that I tend to get always seems to never be fully tightened down. So I might bat it around a little bit. Anyway, and I worry I might knock it loose. Anyway, as I was saying, besides creature in the way. I almost hit the end stream button. Oopsie doodle. Let's swap over to gaming. You can see my tiny little Phoenix Wright, my little tiny Phoenix Wright screen. It's so tiny. It's microscopic. Give me like 2 seconds. Boop. It eventually opens up on its own. I forgot to delete me. Do, 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 do. Yeah, we're gonna be literally playing Phoenix Wright, and by the time the next game comes out, it'll literally just be suddenly the next one in the series is, and we've never gotten through the main trilogy. And then that tacks on like another one to the list. Okay. Oh no, this is the trial. Okay, so we did the investigation last time. I think what happened was there was a trial. There was like a little portion of the trial, and then we did the investigation the rest of the day. Okay, thank you. Okay, and I'm going to... Uno momento. I'm going to start this goal now that we are fully in the game and fully submerged. Now that we are fully in the game. Let me just make sure I have everything all set up. Boo, boo, boo. The one thing I have an issue with is with my dual screen. For whatever reason, there's no like borderless full screen that I can manage, and where it doesn't like randomly shrink the window. Like I said, the dual screens are the one issue I have with this game. February 24th, 9:421 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Why did I say courtroom number 2? Don't know. Gotta turn this down a little bit in my ears. It's just a little loud for me in my ears. My precious little earsies. And what did I don't... Okay, so yeah, like I said earlier, I don't remember the voices that I gave them. So I'm going to be literally playing by ear. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is just as confused as we are. That's right, because I think we only just figured out there was like a murder in 2 different locations at the same exact time. That's all I can remember, so this trial is going to have to refresh my memory. Hopefully it does. After all, the victim was murdered in— oh, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Oh boy, I didn't remember half the voices. I'm just playing, like, I'm playing this by ear. Ah! Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot too. Like, when I was like doing the when I was like talking earlier, it's like I genuinely forgot where we left off. And like the reason behind it, and I don't remember half my reasons why, except for I went for a cozy week, then got sick, then HSR came out, and then some other stuff happened. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It says Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Man. Yeah, I would say having the victim be murdered in 2 places at the same time. Although it still smells like rotten fish in here, and I don't mean from Miss Star's box lunches. There is still something nastily fishy going on, and it's not her sushi. It's not her sushi buntos. Anywho. Oh, that's sour. Oh, that lemonade one got... Ooh. That lemonade one got a little bit tart. Also, I got my cave blanket because I am, for whatever reason, feeling a little chilly today, and it's also a cozy thing. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. Oh god, wait, is this the scene? Oh no. Wait. Isn't this the court scene? Isn't this the trial one where... Oh boy. I think this one's gonna be a pain. If this is the part of the trial that I think it is, I am undoubtedly going to be here a while. What kind of trace evidence? Let's say fingerprints to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what that means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we are dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. At least we're not dealing with Miss Star. Now it's like I need to deal with my Boot Hill-esque voice because we're dealing with Marshall right now. Gee! Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. Well, that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow. This is one messed up trial. It is! This is really messed up. This is like... how did the writers of this particular case manage to jump through all those hoops just to make this kind of scene work? I think there's like, I know there's like a reason for it, but it's like at the beginning, it's like, how did the writers manage to pull this off and jump through as many hoops as possible for this to happen? One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present the evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe that the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. On top of other things. Wait, what? Sorry, that was a shipper in me that decided to go off there for a split second. My bad. That totally was not my shipping brain deciding to be like, yeah, I'm gonna take over for like the 2.5 seconds that it requires. No, no, why would you ever say that? Do-do, do, do-do, do-do, do. Let me be honest though, I was checking my Discord because I usually turn on my Discord on my computer, so I have to check it on my phone. I usually like to try and check it every once in a while in case someone's trying to importantly contact me, which is very rare. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Oh, very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. Before its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Rabble, 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 rabble. Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. Rabble, 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 rabble. Oh no. 1 second. Chat, you might want to cover your ears. This is probably going to get loud. I'm gonna tone this down as much as possible, but I will warn you now, this is going to probably hurt your ears. Because it's going to hurt mine, and it's going to make me think I'm going to have tinnitus for, like, the night. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! Yes, sir, I'm Officer Mike Meekin, sir! My occupation is, that would be murder, sir! Oh, God. Oh, no. I can't reach his voice anymore. So you're telling us that you're a professional killer? Sir, that's what I mean, sir. I'm the one who did it. Oh, no. I don't even have my headphones up that loud and it hurts. If there's anyone who's gonna take me out, it's Officer Mike Meekin's first thing. Due to ear bleeding. I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You've got to believe me, sir! Actually, Sir, I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir! I need booze. I need booze for this. I need booze to deal with Officer Mike Meekins. I don't even have any booze. I took some ibuprofen a little while ago, so it's like, I shouldn't mix that. Oh no. Oh man. God. Protect thy ears, familiars. This is going to get very obnoxious very fast. As a person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir! As you wish! After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir! How? Oh god, this really is gonna be part of the trial that's gonna drive me nuts. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir! Oh boy. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life and then I did it. After that, I passed out until after another officer smacked me awake. Thank you, Samurai. Yeah, let's go, horse girls. Thank you for relieving me of that duty. Thank you for the super chat. Let's go, horse girls. Okay. Yay, we'll do horse girls. Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe we do horse girls. We probably still will. I always like to give back regardless. So the victim detective, Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. Protect thy ears. This is going to be a bit. Ooh, excuse me. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yeah, that's true. Give it some general space between them. Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir! Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I needed here is more info to work with. And we don't have that information. So, yeah, so we do all of... Oh god, the Officer Meekin's voice is going to ruin my throat. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Might as well press everything. Mr. Meekins, you work at the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. There's a scary thought. God, could you imagine this man hiring new recruits? He's a little too, high-strung. Evidence transferal was taking place on that day of the crime. On the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by Chief Detective, sir. I can't. It's staring into my soul. It's staring into my soul. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Is he here? Yes. Look. Look, Blue Badger. I have something that stares just as much into the nihility as you do. I have this. And he's more of a character than you are. Ah! Okay. How about you, Peacherine? Have fun. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during any transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. That sounds very, like a very, important mission. After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see? What did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. Press. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Oh, that might be some interesting development. Precisely, sir. I have one right here on my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed here, right? Oh. Oh. Ah, there it is. Found it. This is the right one here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh? But the number 4989596. Wait, hold up. Let me open that. It flashed by too quickly. Oh yeah, there's no name on it. Why is there no name on it? But the number 4989596 is blank. It's oh wait, shown being used. Oh, it's shown being used twice. I didn't double check up above. Oh. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see, so it was during the second time when... Yes, sir! That's when I spotted the man on the security screen. Data added to ID card reader record. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Press. Keep pressing. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Damn, Phoenix. That's why when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What did you do? Wait, hold on. Press on this one. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really good into kung fu films, sir. Man just let his guard down for just the instant, so I snatched this knife from him. You took his knife. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Uh-huh. Closing your eyes like a man, see. He must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then... The next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Hold up. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. But you couldn't, like, ask someone the time or see a clock when you came around? According to the report from the officer that woke up, the witness was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying in tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now that the random blue badger is apparently so important. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Oh, is that all I need? I actually did just need to press on it, so presenting evidence was not going to do me any good. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was that man this officer murdered really the victim? Oh, so I literally had that right the first time. I was just like gathering information. I did not anticipate the fact that that was one of the key things I needed to do, which is press on the information the entire time. Hey, I'm a smart cookie. He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir. Oh no, it's the tape. Oh God, it's the tape. Look at this. This was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gantz delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? Oh no, it's the tape. What is that? Videotape. It is the cursed videotape of case number 5. Why did I say 6? Yeah. I hate this tape. This tape is evil. Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. The videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder? Is that what we're going to get ourselves into? Do. Okay, there's a guy walking. Okay. Ooh, glove slipped out. Officer Meekins. He's not armed with a knife though. He's literally armed with his knight's baton, his police baton. Oh, slash. Jumped. It's one of those moments. So he was technically stabbed at. Yeah, no, he definitely. And we don't see the guy leave. Yeah, I know, Phoenix, right? Don't you just love the brain rot music? We're gonna be hearing that half a dozen times. It's gonna be great. Even Edgeworth is traumatized. I think the music traumatized them more than the footage. I'm never unhearing that music, ever. I'm going to be hearing that song in my sleep. But I stream this because I love you guys. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? Wasn't that song just... something? What the hell is that wiggling piece of plywood? Sir! That's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir! Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Security video added to court record. I hate this part. And I've never played this, but I have heard so many people get frustrated about this particular scene. Although I think my only one person that I remember watching this playthrough was Nico B, so I have like almost maybe no recollection. I vaguely recall him being extremely frustrated. That's all I can remember him doing. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of a activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incompetent footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. This motherfucker. Mystery man. His face can't clearly be seen in the videos. I think it was like not the conclusion. I think it was the timing of the tape itself. His face clearly can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker that required Detective Goodman's fingerprint too, The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. Ah. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. No one else could have unlocked it, sir. I try to like get Officer because I go back and forth between a proper like policeman voice and a very whiny whiny tone that's like akin to Mr. Payne. What was this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activated lock. These locks ensure that the locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the scene of the crime could have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Mystery Man! Well, there's no question. That's the person with Detective Goodman, sir. But, like, here's the thing, though. Oh, I can't present him with actual, like, people. Oh, good. They're not gonna play the song twice. Yeah, he can't be seen. The color of his... Now, I would have been thrown off by the polka dotted ascot. But look, he did not, like, touch the thing to the fingerprint pad. And he was also clearly wearing gloves. And you saw a glove slip out. A glove technically slipped out. We're gonna press on this, though. But you don't know for sure, do you? You never actually... Oh, wait, he did wear a polka dotted ascot. Never mind. You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, you can only you can verify it. But why is everybody looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Ooh. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished the knife at you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. Let me look at my options again. Did we ever find Detective Goodman's fingerprint analysis? Half-written document submitted to the police. SL not tagged from the SL9 incident. Did we ever have... Ah, here we go. Well, this one's a bit... Only assigned detectives fingerprints can unlock this. Indicator lamp lights will open... Oh wait, indicator lamp lights will light up when it's open. Hang on, let me reopen that. Okay, so. So the light is actually on. So that means the locker is still completely unlocked. Because the light's on. And they can't just say it's a false bulb. See? Light's on. The glove was there to keep it from closing all the way. Because that's like, that is a trick that people do to keep doors from like completely engaging in their locks. Okay. Okay, my question is, can I present it to him now? Hang on. I'm going to save this. I am actually going to save Scum for a little bit, if you don't mind me saying. This is one of those cases where it's like, I want to preserve as much stuff as possible. Locker he opened is I want to present with the tape because I do see something weird about it. Or this. Either the evidence locker, the indicator lamp light will open and will do that when it's open. I'm wondering if am I thinking 2 steps ahead? Here's the issue I have. Because of the way Phoenix Wright does things, I'm worried I might be 2 steps ahead in this moment. That is the one major problem I have with myself is I have played 5D chess with this game, but of course I forget that it's got like slight feeling I'm probably 2 steps ahead. Yeah. I'll keep pressing him for information and then I'll double back on it if I need to. I'll check my findings. I'm wondering if I'm probably am thinking 2 steps ahead. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. We don't need to hear about your romantic troubles. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. I feel like I am 2 steps ahead. Yeah, let's press on this again. Oh, here we go. Wright is bringing it up on his own. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video is the man's face. Sir! Oh, the music went quiet. If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Ow. I want to take that megaphone away from him. Yes, you have a good point. The footage doesn't lie. That is. Unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check. Aha! Okay, so I was thinking 2 steps ahead. I was in the ballpark. It was just a matter of pressing regularly. I keep forgetting to do that. Let's check the record again. Yeah, there is a problem. There is a problem. Regarding the video contained in this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? The video contains a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. Yeah, I probably heard worse in the megaphone, but like directly in headphones, that kind of hurts a bit. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out the problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, and pause the video. Take a good look at to make sure you point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching the video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Your guess is as good as mine, Phoenix. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Oh god, why do they have to play the music? Okay, I think I have to let this play a little bit. See? The light was on. I'm hopeful I'm correct. With this videotape, see. Trial Farmer, here we go. Do 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 do. Okay, I think I need to like hello, self. Were you busy bouncing around? I feel like this is not correct. The thing about the strange about this video is it's got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Ayo? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright. But you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What are you looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Do I have to, like, have him get when he's, like, opening the locker? Okay, good. I'll place him under arrest, sir. No, please don't. Rats. Need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Play the video again. Okay, so it has to be it has to be when he's opening the locker. So someone pointing his finger at us. Okay, so is it... This is like the... Yeah. Yada yada yada. Yeah, I think the game knew when I was trying to play like 2 steps ahead. Okay. I feel like it's here with the indicator light. I think that's, maybe that's what it is. I'm not, I am double check. I am verifying my answers. Ah. Okay, I was right the first time. It's got to be this. Officer Meekins. There it is. So yeah, I was kind of like in the ballpark. I just had the raw, I reversed it. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. Oh god, why is the brain rot song still going? When you grab a handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. Ow. Light turns on, the lock releases. Also, picture of Maggie Bird in there seeking out the, about being like a thing for next game when that happens. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. God, Officer Meekins is gonna hurt my voice. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. I can't tell which one's worse, the blue badger brain rot or the banana brain rot from Honkai Star Rail. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. I don't know what's going on anymore. Here, you notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker's already been opened before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Now, before that chicken noise, I swear his original... He makes a chicken noise when he freaks out, but I think I think Officer Meekins in the original version actually had like a slight whistle sound when he did that. If I remember correctly. I think he had originally a soundbite of an actual like whistle. A whistle tweeting. Order, order, what is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? This is where my second step ahead is supposed to hit. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was kidding. Maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something? Jam the sensor? Say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Emma's got the right point. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. I've only just begun. I'm already succumbing to the madness. Zephyr succumbing to the madness. Someone stop it. Hang on. Oh. Rewind just a hair. There we go. Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Blue badger, blue badger. Oh no. Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom. I can't get over it now. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that all things fall out when the doors are open. I'll fall out of lockers too, I guess. We can't be sure this item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Ayo. Ayo, inserted. Zephyr's losing her brain. I even hear it now. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of the patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door. Yeah, Insane, the membrane is right. Not only that, it would also have to block the electrical currents, which would need to be an insulator, which is a rubber glove. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. I think originally, in the original DS version, because of the screen resolution, it was, like, really, really hard to see what it was. What was this insulator that was stuck between lock or door? That would be this rubber glove. Clearly. Oh. I just need to present it. I really want to check it. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure it was the victim. It was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says the SL9 incident. Trigger much? The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened the locker. Isn't that so? Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir! Order, order, order! So are we to believe that the victim, whom the witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Me, sir. Me, sir! I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. You can tell he was being trained. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man number 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must have the enter their ID card. When ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective has used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID record right here, Your Honor. Okay. Wait. Oh wait, no, that is Mike Meekins. Why was I seeing Miles Edgeworth twice? The ID card used at 514, that is of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using the room? Yeah, who is 777777777 42. Particular evidence. Oh wow, I made myself dizzy on that one. This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it does take must make good difference. Ha! Because he styles his hair like that. There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. There's another thing the person made was Detective Goodman, sir. Press. Is that just to get in or out? Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I will never forget. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, the police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Okay, wait. Let me check my evidence real quick. Wait. 584, hang on. 5842189. Let me check the records. 5842189. Yeah, that checks out. But Mike Meekins also came in at the exact same time, though. I feel like the timestamps are definitely what's weird. I feel like the timestamps are the problem. Because they're like, why would you go in at the exact same time? Because it was really weird that they were both used at the same time. Let it be noted that this is the record of the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Oh. Not the prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide anything. Mommy, is that Blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem that the inquiry committee will want to speak to you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified when you asked the man who chose ID card. He pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he's just panicked? Everything stems from from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. Is it literally just because they are on the exact same times? You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Enter the evidence room. Must one have an ID card. That's fine. I get that. Let me press on this one real quick. May as well press on the on other statements. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'm gonna give you the victory sign, sir. Then he just use his right hand for that. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, no one ever knows what he might say until the very last second. Enter the evidence room. Okay, that one's a true statement. There's a record of it. Okay, fair. Time of the crime, the detective had used his card. But the crime wasn't until later, right? Hang on. How was this autopsy report? Wait, death due to blood loss, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. How could he have gotten there? SL9. Yeah. Okay, so he was supposed to be dead around 5:30. How was he there? Because if you look at these, we had a Bruce Goodman enter the building at 5:14 p.m. He should have been long dead by then. Okay, I'm curious. Is it this one? I feel like showing him literally the ID card record is going to be the way to do it, but I'm going to save. I'm never usually a save scummer, but this is one of those things where I'm, once again, probably thinking way too far ahead. I believe that would be the actual record. Because the crime was at 4 o'clock. Nope. The question is, like, which crime was it? Okay. I believe this was the autopsy report, actually. Death due to blood loss. 1 knife wound, died within an hour for... how could he when he died at 4 p.m.? This is another timepiece. Still not it? Never mind. Hi, Sylvis. Thank you for the head pets. I am safe scumming briefly. What the heck? Again, I'm thinking way too far on the ahead sign. Oh, wait. Different statement, maybe? Hang on. Maybe a different statement. Sorceress Zephyr safe scumming, never. 221 ID. Oh, wait. Why did he not have it fully filled out? Hold up, why did he not have... Wait, if an item... Because remember, he said something if the item was lost, there's only one. So... Yeah. wait one moment, Officer Meekins. You literally, it was literally right there in front of me, and my brain was thinking too far ahead of the actual solution. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. This is a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something is to his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order, order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require that much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Yeah, I was thinking like too much 2D, 4D chess on that. Order, order, order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. But bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second was the victim's lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. By the way, for case number 6, I do have to like partially look it up because for this particular case, I do have to look things up because there's a lot. The statements are a lot less obvious, and it doesn't like fully hit you upside the head. And because it's been a while since I last played, so not everything is like fully cognizant. One time I was on duty when I was active and some FBI agent flashed his badge. The fine part is at least that at the time the badge had no ID, so I asked him for his ID to cross-verify and he was mad. Oh dear. But yeah, I did have to like partially look that up, and apparently you could do it on statements 2, 3, and 4. Which was a little crazy and like and you can use either the ID card itself or the lost report. And it made more sense to me that the report on the second statement, which Officer Meekins mentioned. So yeah, it made a lot of sense. It was just like I said, they have a very particular solution for this one. And I fully admit that, like, yeah, I had to kind of like peek at that one a little. If the victim is in this video is fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Multiple ways to call out the contradiction. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Yeah, usually it's literally just... I think this was kind of like one of their experimental ones where it was just like you could... I think this was like an experimental one, but then I think they may have brought it back to where it's just like, if you find the statement and the contradiction, then that's the one. I think this was like their experimental stage, or I was just bad at probably reading between the lines as well. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Tisk tisk. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place. The police department at 5:15 of the day at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place in one location, the underground parking lot. Objection! I wasn't pointing my finger, I was only wiping my shoulder of dirt. Yeah, dirt. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment of the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. Yeah, it was. It was all a trap from the beginning. Yeah, you can probably tell when Edgeworth kind of prepares the witnesses a little bit. Slash, possibly somebody else. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many unanswered questions. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman, excuse me. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else, Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this? We do the usual. We do the Phoenix Wright thing. We object and pull things out of our asses. We bluff our way out of this. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Also, how is that build for like someone like Lana Skye? Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? We don't lay traps. Crappy nose. Excuse me. This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. As there's no other corpse, by the way. Because, like, where is the body? There's no way it just crumpled to the floor. As there's just Officer Meekins. Also, see that? That thing's there is probably too thick. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination of the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. This court would like to examine this further. Other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident in the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This might just be my chance. It's time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Hey, I get to do my Boot Hill voice. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you have testify, what is his or her name? It's Detective Jake Marshall! I mean, Texas Ranger, not Galaxy Ranger. That's a different scenario. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? One more for the goalpost. One more for the goalpost. Let's go. Thank you, Samurai. Much appreciated. Yes, for those who don't know, I have a super chat incentive. For $5 or $5 plus, if we get all 5 of them, we will do, I will play Uma Musume, and I have been, thank you, Sylvest. I will play Uma Musume, and believe me, I have been avoiding it because I complain about Horse Girl being on my front page the entire time. So, if this gets completed by the remaining time that I've got today, then I will be playing Uma Musume next week, and I will give Horse Girls a try, and I'll add in a bonus incentive as well. That one day we will do Uma Musume as a membership stream as well. We'll do like an Uma Musume watch along membership stream or something, if that's applicable for everybody. Get all the Horse Girl stuff out of our systems. Anywho, that was enough tipping my busker hat for the time being. I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he's supposed to be responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 10 minutes, 20 minutes to prepare. 20-minute recess! Dibs on the monkey bars! Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Woo! Break time! My throat is dry now. You know what's weird about some of the more closer up art styles? I think it's because I've played like a lot of Kingdom Hearts like back in the day, but the eyes, the way I know it's like a little harder to see, but on my main screen, if you look at the eyes of these characters a little closely, they kind of give me like the Kingdom Hearts vibe because of the way they have that little black crescent and the pupil. Hydration check initiated. Maybe I should get like an emote with a water bottle. It's good. I should probably like get an emote with a water bottle for hydration time. It'd be cute. Just like a little star-shaped water bottle or something. I should probably do that. It would be a pain in the butt to clean, but it would look cute. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. I'm literally just flying by the seat of my pants at this point. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Interestingly enough, Kingdom Hearts artist was inspired by Yoshitaka Amano, who mainly does watercolors. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I do need to put like, or have TV's ever drinking from said water bottle. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably, like, when I get some funding up, I will, on my own end, I will probably go talk to the artist again and get some more, emotes. Because I think we might have enough Membies to make a fresh one. I don't know. Cute. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? I really should play Kingdom Hearts. I think I fully played through 1. I think my only Achilles heel is going to be Rechain of Memories. Because that's going to be like my one Achilles heel in the entire series. Never actually played 1. I finished 1 on a I think it was like during the height of the pandemic. I had the entire like big PS4 series when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I literally played that. I have the... Still, this idea is better. Yeah, I'll decide it. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Okay, she's adopted. Let's go give her some head pats, everybody. She deserves the head pats. Emma Sky does. Poor thing. She's essentially our Maya for this case. She needs all the head pats. Oh, I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Pals. I can't do it. I cannot do the gumshoe voice. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Oh, wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Oh, well, you got some nerve, pal. I'm making the detective run all the way around while on duty. On top of it, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. Sorry, it was like all those, hey. Did I knock over? I heard a thump, but I think I may have I don't know if I knocked something over or if I was just being loud and obnoxious. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh, you mean this, right? He's surprisingly animated today. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making the request. My name? Damn. I didn't know she had that kind of authority. Never in a million years would I have thought this would have worked. It was you who would ask me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about going crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. That is also a lot of material to go over. We only have a 30-minute recess, Lana. We can't exactly read all of those manuscripts. That looks terrifying. That's like asking to, like, cram in a study session. Everyone working on your favorite case? Yay, I'm glad this is your favorite case. I've never played through Case 5. I've actually never fully played through the original Ace Attorney series on my own. I played Dual Destinies, and that was literally my only experience. There's a gnat buzzing in front of my face, and I want it to go away. Zephyr versus Gnat, fight. More than a novel. That's like that one novel I saw, I saw the Nerd Forge, I think is what the name is, who made like a book, and it's kind of thick like this. She like bookbound an entire thing that looked like this. Maybe a little larger, but like that. This is kind of like a good idea of what it looked like. without the hardcover. I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. In 20 minutes? I can't believe the chief prosecutor were... You, the chief prosecutor, were witness to the case. Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago? Only 2 years? Take from me, you don't want anything to do with the serial murders. Gumshoe, I think you may have dropped the ball there, honey. Oh, what? Now you're just... Now that I brought you your stuff, you're gonna just ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name on here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... Oh, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it was the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No. No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. And knowing you, you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Oh boy. To be continued. Which we will still do, because we have time. Which we have time to stream it. Absolutely. We will get through this trial, hopefully. Trial ladder. Overwrite? Nah, we're fine. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. I need hydration after that one, yeesh. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. If the sorceress has some water. And tries to swat the knife again. I hate that thing interrupting me. It buzzes near my face, too. It's like, it wants to be in front of me, and it bothers me. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. I'm sorry, that was disgusting. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wander around the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. That's gotta give it a good whack. Yeah, I do. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Never seen someone drink openly and try. I know! That flask better be filled with apple juice because that man be drinking. Because I'm probably pretty sure having whiskey on the stand is not a good idea. It better be full of, like, water or something. Actually, technically speaking, I don't think something like that would actually be technically allowed in the courtroom. Because, you know, it's a closed bottle that you randomly bring in. I think you usually drink the water that's provided by the I think in normal courtrooms, you're usually provided water. It's probably maybe apple juice or cider. Yeah, hopefully not hard cider. I've actually had hard cider, and it's actually really good. It's one of the few beers I actually drink, because it's more fruity. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Hard cider is yummy compared to beers. It is. It's also because, like, it doesn't taste like wheat. At least to me. A desperado soul is boundless in the as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. I kind of... Isn't it weird that I would love to hear Andrew Russell just, like, read out these Sheriff Marshall parts so badly? Because he makes that southern twang sound really good. I kind of want to hear Andrew Russell do it. Sorry, I can't help myself. If this was dubbed, I think Andrew Russell would definitely be like a very good fit for that. Oh, I'm silly. This is... Try super chat him while he's streaming. My goodness. Yeah, that would be interesting. And make sure to clip it. If I had time, probably. Maybe it's best we just get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English, preferably. Day of the crime, witness testimony. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a streetwide saloon that time when it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. Plain old English, he said. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard. But you don't see me complaining. Ow. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, about the fingerprint activation locks in the evidence lockers? Well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Of course, the moment I go into the southern twang, it's to say newfangled doohickeys. Oh god, kill me. Of course, when I get the twang down, it's just to say doohickeys. It's just to say newfangled doohickeys. Can't help it. Top moment, I guess. Okay, I got tears in my eyes. I started laughing at myself. I laughed at myself. Cotton 4K. They knew. Okay, let me reread that. Okay, hang on, I need a drink. Okay. Fingerprint activation locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Hey, that actually came out really nice. Too bad I can't keep it consistent. He's not being very helpful. He's not good with machines. Or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses. Now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. That went a little Irish. Day of the crime, cross-examination. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. English, pal. I laugh so hard at myself. How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room? Just make sure nothing moved the security camera. Sorry. I just made sure nothing moved the security camera monitor. That room is so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who entered the recordings. You interred them? Yeah, the dude is like trimming his beard in court with a hunting knife, by the way. Yeah, he's like trimming his beard with a hunting knife in the middle of a courtroom. That should not be there. What kind of backwards crazy wubbaboo nuts is this? I don't know what I was going with. I was saying, what did wubbaboo pop out? Oh, God damn it. Why did wubbaboo pop out of that one? I'm not gonna get this done today. Oh, God. Out of all the things that popped out, it was wubbaboo and then nuts right after. Oh my God. I think I came up with a new swear word. I came up with like a brand new swear word, I guess. Wubbaboos have feelings too. I know they have feelings too. Those poor little things. I cannot believe Wubbaboo popped out. Okay. Okay, hang on. I'm reconnecting. I'm centering myself. Why did that, like, that was just the weirdest string of me swearing. I fully admit that was like a what the hell was I literally talking about? But yeah, he should not be allowed, in all fairness, in all, like, actuality, he should not be using this in court. But is this like, this whole kangaroo court should not even let this man have a knife in there. There we go. Oh God, okay. Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time will come, I had to erase the tape. You said literal cult there. Oh God. Thank you. Ah, Lord. I was literally just spitting words. I apparently spat up gold. I apparently have... I am apparently the verbal goose that laid the golden egg. Kidding. Anyway. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. I get it. Haha! The little rat. I finally got it. Sorry, I finally caught my nemesis that was been bugging me. Yeah, I finally got the gnat. I literally caught it. It was like dead. I squished it. No, a gnat, like the little flying like fruit fly. No, it was a gnat. Yeah. Gnat down. It's finally gone. It's no longer bugging me. It got bonked this time. It got bonked in the Shadow Realm. Each time I'd erase a tape, felt like I was erasing part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? Make rounds where? Oh, you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that it ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know is lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't even set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. I can't say I do. He is so lying. He's like really going hard at this. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, they're protected by 2 security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Oh yeah, the like what how have you not got fired yet kind of material? Yeah. Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing at the crime when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. Where? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us that you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope you at least it's taught you a lesson. Strange. This is usually where Ezra says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Eh? I'm just a traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, then it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back to the west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Okay. To me, he is speaking gibberish. You know, this is still curious. We still don't know who the 777 is. But that's probably not what that is. We don't have to worry about the Joey Dart killings. Prints have been wiped. SL9 is just checking these out. Victims: Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall? That's a dot. That is probably somewhere. Trial data, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana and Emma Skye. Investigation Task Force, executive investigators Damon Grant and Lana Skye. Head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. I'm tucking that aside for a little bit. So I was supposed to make the round 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Checking 2 security systems anyway. I remember I was Streetside Saloon. Do we have someone else? Hang on, do we have Do I really just present the SL9 stuff there? 512. This is for Edgeworth's car. 518. That was wrapped in the muffler. ID card. 5. Screwdriver. Evidence room. Stabbing of a detective in the PD. Evidence locker. Wait, he doesn't know about the lockers. He says there's 2, but there's actually 3. There's actually technically 3 security systems. There's technically 3 security tangents. So maybe, buddy bro, you might be incorrect. There's 3. Nope. Definitely not that. Do I, like, present to him the SL9 incident stuff? I feel like that's too soon. Streetside Saloon when all went down. Just instant traveling man, so if you're out of ammo... Do I literally present the SL9 incident stuff? I feel like that's too soon. I feel like that's way too soon to present this. Unless this is one of those where I have to, like, talk to them regularly. Do we have something here? And the print had been wiped. I forgot, did we have a fingerprint analysis record? No. Oh, wait, found at the crime scene. No. There was something. No prints. Okay, the murder. Wrapped in the defendant's muffler, small thing attached, but this thing's got a little bit of blood on it. Did we... I am assuming we already talked about this. No, I don't. I hate this mouse sometimes. Why do I keep right-clicking? I don't know why. I feel like we should be able to do something. I wish we had a record. Stabbing PD. There's some fingerprint file. What on earth had his prints on it? Not what I meant to hit. Hmm. There's a giant handprint on his face. Okay, I'm actually a little lost. Hmm. He doesn't know about the fingerprint lockers. Hmm. I thought he was presenting in the right spot, though. Am I presenting in the wrong one? He only knows about the cameras and the card key. Wait, do I have a thing of his prints? Oh, it's one of those weird ones. It's one of the weird ones, and I had to, like, look this up. It's like... So the big trump card... Oh, it's literally labeled at the top. It's literally labeled at the top. I'm a dumbass. If he wasn't down there... Zephyr can't read, I guess. I was literally reading everything, did not see this. I had to double check it. I was like confused, and I was like, wait, I don't have anything of his prints. And then I saw it, and I'm just like, God, that you can tell how long it's been. Officer Marshall, does this strike you as odd? That is, you being called to testify like this. I forgot we technically had Marshall's fingerprints. I genuinely forgot about that little tidbit, and I did not read the top. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Hi, JP. Okay. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. What I miss, or is it too much to recap? So earlier we were talking to Officer Meekins, and we were having Meekins testify to the quote-unquote murder in the police department. And now we've essentially bluffed Officer Marshall into testifying, and we had fingerprints, and I completely forgot to know that we had Marshall's fingerprints literally on the locker. Also, we now have the new Blue Badger Brain Rot music, so have fun listening to that. Nuh-uh. I only wish it were, officer. Yeah, we will have plenty of time to probably see the Blue Badger today. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. I'm gonna take it to find the angle. I think we managed it. I think we're not at the angle part, but we got the first two bits right. Even though I was thinking like 1 or 2 steps ahead. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints are at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You will watch me struggle for this part of the case, I'm pretty sure. It's fine. The blood was wiped away. However, the luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall. Just so you know, it took me like 5 minutes just to figure out that Officer Marshall's fingerprints were quite literally still there, and I did not realize they were still marked as his because it's been so long since I last played. It seems to me there ain't a person in this room that with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. Yeah, his facial hair grows back really fast. He's like the Santa Claus with his like, you shave off the beard, it magically just grows back. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Hi, Zephyr, how am I doing? I'm doing good. Having a pretty good evening with everybody here. Blood-stained fingerprints. Although I did struggle for like a little bit, and yeah, I do have to kind of like guide chapter 5 a little because my brain is stupid today. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't they tell you that... Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. What the fuck? That man is talking circles. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room to doubt. Wouldn't it be fun? Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. But it's also case number 5, so we like literally press on every statement like our life depends on it. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker appears to be mine. What? What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. See, the locker I still use. Oh, because that he doesn't. Oh, he put it like a little cloth between it so the locker can maybe stay open. But that doesn't make sense. The light is on, so how is the sensor not work? How's the sensor not working? And all that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange my prints weren't all over that locker. But you said you've never been down there completely. You only visit it like once a month. And also, how would you open your locker? Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Updating the court record. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker with where my fingerprints was by chance. But how does that make sense? No, that doesn't make any sense. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could also argue the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward with me being a mere with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstain and that fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? There's different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other with types of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. Judge, this is not the time. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. But you're also wearing gloves, my good man. How do you also know the guy is wearing gloves? Oh, yeah. How do you know he was wearing gloves? How do you know that? Oops. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. There's one found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints are detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to be the place that had on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. And that's the only logical conclusion, but they're also facing the wrong directions. I starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Oh! So pressing him for the information was actually the proper thing to do. Security tape? So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. No worries. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue to testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? He's leading us on to something. He's literally pointing it out. Wait, there's also a piece of fabric missing. Hold the phone. Hold the fuck up. I just noticed it. Handprint on them. But look, wait, hold up. See that? Wait until this comes back again with Meekins. There might be a handprint on the mascot, but that guy's also wearing gloves too, most likely. Blood on the shoulder. But watch what happens. Eventually we'll roll back. Meekins is going to be on the ground. This is probably where it's going to get tricky. Meekins is on the ground. Give it 2 seconds. And then magically there's something in the locker. Oh. I'm gonna take the L on that one. I'll take the L on that one. That was my bad. I think I had to press him a little bit. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, like someone like Marshall, by the by, he could have snuck around the camera, put the thing in the locker when it was like off the screen, and went through it. They could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you show us evidence this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully right, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. I am going to save this real quick. I took the L on that. I called that one too soon before pressing, which I should have pressed. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness. Officer Jake Marshall. Do 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 do. Okay, we're gonna ignore him going through there. Easy peasy there, see you later. Okay, so he's opening the locker. Meekins just being Meekins. Meekins is going to jump him. Slash. Blood splatter from Meekins' hand. And the guy's gone. You can see there's a very long period. There's a long period, and then there we go. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. God, the brain rot is real. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you might say in, like, 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown on the video. Boop, 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 boop. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now let's rewind the video a bit. See? Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared, and there's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. Gasp. So what if my locker was open? Well, that doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. He forgot the fact that his locker opened up with his fingerprint analysis. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. He is really tucking himself into a corner with that one. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm the wanted man? This guy just isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call you a bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. I believe that's where we show him the evidence locker, correct? I think so. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I've only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. How would you not know about the fingerprint locks? I guess they're just because they're so sleek. And also there are some people who are not like fully technologically like in the know about certain things. No, I'm just bad at making no. But yeah. Some people are not like fully like in the technological aspect, but I don't know. It feels weird that he's saying he doesn't know. I feel like he's definitely lying. Marshall does look like the guy he doesn't know about much about technology. He's spent too much time out in the old west. But yeah, I feel like you would have to know a little bit about them to like put your hand on it, hear the little thing click open. I don't know. I think this is one of those like little loopholes they wrote in the early days. Uses a gun, right? Yeah. I think he uses the gun. I think he also uses a knife. Is this a joke? It's the worst I ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Doesn't add up. Yeah, I feel like he knows more than he lets on. He's probably not telling us everything. He's literally just lying through his teeth. Like he's just trying to tear off that piece of jerky. Ole! Oh god, Judge, don't say ole. Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, officer. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at the floor plans. Hello, all the best and have a great day. Thank you. You too. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion... Well then, let's hear it. Oh, God. What was the... Squirrel! Thank you, Bubba. So he wouldn't see Officer Marshall. This was the supposed victim, in quotes. This is supposedly the killer. Meekins was back here. Didn't see Officer Marshall because Officer Marshall was right here. He was in the quote-unquote victim spot. I think. I'm going to confirm this. I feel like I have it because I feel like I did this before with the office situation where the answer was completely obvious. You examine the evidence, floor plans, visit. Yeah, victim spot, because he was the one checking out the lockers. Oop. Officer Marshall was standing right there. I had it right. I was just like, I needed to double check and confirm my own answers. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman at all. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up as Detective Goodman. That's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman? He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. And, you know, if you were a good police officer, you would show your ID card. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room. He must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. You couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on this ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Very true. Very factual. Very demure. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? God damn, this jerky's good. I've actually never had jerky. Except for, like, deer jerky. You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it! You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. He said, yeah, he's essentially trying to say, unless we have hard evidence that he dressed up as Detective Goodman, it's considered technically circumstantial evidence. I mean, like, I haven't had dried jerky, like, I haven't had, like, the hard dried jerky, but I have had deer jerky. I think I'm talking about, like, the really, really tough stuff. Deer jerky is not hard. It is, like, that stuff is tender. At least the stuff I had. They were like the Slim Jim style. And I know what Slim Jims are, so it's like, I like those. No. All I know is that some of the jerky that you see in some of those bags, they just look really, really dry. But yeah, I've had deer jerky. I don't know. Like I said, I've never eaten it. Anyway, before I go on a tangent. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Again with the beard shots. Well, Mr. Wright. Ow. Bit the inside of my lip with that one. Ow. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall was dressed up as the victim? Well, oh, who am I kidding? I don't even have anything like that. I see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems that you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Also, man, I hope you are having, like, apple juice in that thing, because it would be impossible for you to have, like, regular booze on site. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall, there's no place to go. With no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, Try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for the evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think his locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it's been seen. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. The bloodstain. He couldn't walk out with it. According to the defense's argument, the bloodstain, it's the coat. He jammed it in the locker. Why is Edgeworth helping us? It's Edgeworth. He likes us. He likes his future husband. And his future 3 children that they adopted. One of them, Phoenix, quite literally adopted. The other 2 were just kind of like his apprentices, but they're basically his kids. Officer Jake Marshall okay, excuse me. I got that. Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. This must be the angle one. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps this video is the key to our unanswered questions. Naruhodo. And I like saying naruhodo because it's actually Wright's name in Japanese. It's cute. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. No, wait, I think Ryunosuke is the other one. I think Ryunosuke is his ancestor. I think I got the wrong one. But his last name is Naruhodo. Mm-hmm. Damn. Very well, let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us the witness opened his locker. I can't tell what's worse. I feel like it was the banana. I feel like between this and the banana song, I can't deal. I'm gonna fast forward this a hair. That part comes out. Aha. So this is where... Edger. Okay, wait for it. Dang it. Aha! Blood. Is this gonna be enough? It was! It was enough! It was enough of it was just enough of a view. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman. And entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. However, wrong accent there. Something unexpected happened. Excuse me. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled the knife on him. However... See, I could have stopped there, but I think the blood splatter I picked up was just enough. Also, clever censorship, by the way, to hide Marshall's actual face with the flag. I just noticed this. That's like the perfect amount of censor. It's just enough. Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. Exactly what I was saying. He couldn't just walk out. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. Always get rid of the evidence, yeah. But you gotta get rid of the evidence properly. That was a flub up on his part. If he had managed to, like, shove it in there all the way without, like, any of the cloth sticking out, he would have gotten away with it. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent than as you are today, we all wouldn't have been here now would we? We got my blood trail to a socket. There was like actually like a huge let me check the court record. Is there like a visible bit of evidence about like the blood in the locker room? Yeah, look here. There was like a huge amount of blood here, but I think a lot of that was Officer Meekins. There was like a lot of it. Like the classic anime style somehow is like there's more blood in the body than there is necessary. We all wouldn't be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. Let's go. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I plan to take out all the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor in the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Somehow Officer Meekins just like bled out that much? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. His own hand? My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. I know, right? Yeah, how does that happen? I do it that day. I just couldn't just stand by and let it die. Let what die? When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what it cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I sold the detective's ID, dressed like him, and planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? Oh, wrong button. If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card. I sold this morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. Oh, he essentially planted evidence, in quotes. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean, the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open the locker yourself. He returned it just by dropping it on the floor somewhere. Yeah, he did. Right where the body was actually going to be found out. But he could because the rubber glove just happened to be stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one in a million type person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had turned out like that way. Excuse me? With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. He literally has been showing that knife the entire time. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and to escape. Knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. We'll just keep pressing for info on these. I think statement 1 is where we have to show up the SL9 incident. It's really guiding us to it. Those who go to the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. Gumi for right, she's playing day everything. I can do Gumi today. Yeah, I think I can do Gumi. Gumi playing date everything tonight? Yeah, I should probably do that. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security of the tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your code in the struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing at that time? He was knocked out, my man. What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown at the tape is me. I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Wait, don't we have, like, a whole bunch of it? Quite literally. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty? Someone else stole the evidence. But why do we have, like, parts of it in our inventory? Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? By the way, partner, it's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. I'm gonna check the timer real quick on it. Oh, we got like 30 minutes left on the, I just wanted to check the goal and see where we were real quick with it. It's got a good like 30 minutes left on it. I just wanted to see how long we had left on it. There we go. Who gave you parts of the evidence and where you found it again? I was checking the target goal for Uba Musume as like my super chat incentive for the evening. I decided that if I somehow managed to get all 5, I'd play Uba Musume next week. I would play Horse Girl game because a lot of people want me to. There's like I want to see what all the hell I want to see if people want really see what the hell blue is all about. Yeah. Essentially, you guys choose what I do for next week if you choose to let it be. Yeah. I just wanted to check and see like how much longer was on the timer because I didn't want to like. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. It's not fully like it's not required. It's only if you can. It's all just for fun at the end of the day. And even if we don't, with how close we were, we may still do it. I might still do it regardless, just to like give back to everybody. Because that's only fair in my eyes. Anyway, moving on. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? But the case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence. Like I said, don't worry if it's a lot. If you are worried about it, don't worry about it. It's like I said, this was all mainly for fun. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial numbers, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down in that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is the real reason is? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Let's take another look at the files. I think this is where we pull out the SL9 papers. And we point out the marshal on the paperwork. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, Braun. Cactus juice! How did it go again? How did the cactus juice thing Saka was screaming about? Something about being cactusy, something about mushroom. I don't remember. Been a while. Been a while. Saka said something about cactus juice. Apparently cactus juice has even an effect on the normal people. I have the SL9 file right here. Something something quench your thirst. Yeah, probably that. The name Marshall is mentioned here. There we are. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. I need a drink. Hang on. It's the quenchiest. There it is. It finally kind of came to me now. Cactus juice is the quenchiest. Here, that's close enough. 2 years ago. Oh, snap, crackle pop. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant and the Deputy Chief of Police. Or the Deputy Chief of Police, my bad. He was there in the corner. The group of detectives I worked with under? Thanks, Crow. Much appreciated. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Yeesh. Joe Doc. My brother fought Doc and was killed. Thank you, Crow, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Doc. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. That's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time of the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one. Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial! Generous Crow, very generous indeed. Which is why we examined the incident in the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Yes, the chat is very determined to send me into the horse girl rabbit hole. They are very determined indeed. Anyway. Our sole murder took place in the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony is of one Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response... And that's it. Oh god. Oh boy. Okay. Thank you both. Well, we have Amazing. I guess I have to get to the horse track next week. Well. Well, you know what? This kind of means that, I'm guessing I'm going to be playing Uma Musume next week. I'm going to be going down the horse girl rabbit hole. Well, all right. I guess we're seeing what Uma Musume has to offer next week. That'll be a good time. All right, I'll make sure I put that on a note for the schedule for next week, because everyone was really generous this week. Generous today for the silly little meme. And I'm pretty sure I have a few people who are going to appreciate it. But yeah, let's wrap up. Let's get this case all wrapped up. It'll be fine. It's not like you're known to fall in love with gacha games. I'm only known to fall in love with Honkai Star Rail, and that's literally just one reason. Technically two. I'm playing it but I've been excited for the global version when it was announced. Oh yeah, I remember, because the global version was because it was originally in Japan only, and now it like got the global release. That's all I know about it. But yeah, looks like we're doing Uma Musume next week. So we'll have fun with that. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Ah! And I rest my case. I quite literally do. He quite literally said the same thing I was saying. I rest my case. It seems the trial has reached a conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police station. There's no doubt what it proved yesterday's true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was a fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Hold it! Eh? Oh, hold it! Your Honor, wait. Ayo, we're not done yet? Emma. The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright. Are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for you is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please? I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Aw, Edgeworth is so sweet. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That only left one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints are found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood were the only clue we have. If we couldn't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. It's time's up. I've heard wild quotes out of context in this game. I think it's the best way to enjoy it. I mean, you can do that too if you want to. There's definitely like some really good Let's Dub projects out there too. That did the Let's Dub of Phoenix Wright. I think actually the Let's Dub project by Tyranny actually came back, and they're doing Dual Destinies currently. They're relaunching it. And these guys were actually had some really like fun like fan project voice actors. Yeah, Tyranny projects came back. It was cute. It's really nice to see them back. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident in the police department... Oh, I meant the horse girl game base. Oh. Okay, that's fair. I was reading chat out of context. Yeah, I was reading chat out of context. That's my bad. But yeah. With regards to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubts remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. But the question is how, if Officer Marshall avoided the camera? Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer the question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. One with the first game, Nick and Maya casually just leave Edgeworth hiding under the table after... Oh yeah, they kind of did. They just kind of like casually left him to like cope with the earthquake. Yeah, I remember that. It's like, oh yeah, Gumshoe was like the best pal there. He was just like, you guys left him alone? And freaking booked it. Gumshoe is a real homie. He is. Indeed. What could be wrong with that handprint on the Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I mean, theoretically... There was no one to place the mark on it. There was no one else in the room at the time to place the mark on the locker. At least for what we did. I object. Objection! This handprint left the crime scene. Clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is that you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intensely at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? Oh, wait, is the blood missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. The blood pool. We only wrote up the blood pool after we discovered it. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing on the floor plans? That would be the luminol evidence room floor plans with this. As they say back in the old west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as facing the general direction. Seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. There's no more evidence here, the greater the chance of me getting it wrong. What? Oh. Trying to remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime. Oh. Please let me another chance, okay. Okay, my bad. I thought I had it right with the blood. Let me look at the floor plan again. Something was missing. What was missing? Not the luminol testing fluid, the victim's shoe. No. Wasn't there. When we went to the scene. Brain is dumb. Switchblade knife. This was found in the other crime scene, though. Everything else, I think, was found within the locker area. We haven't actually mentioned the screwdriver. Brought back to his office by Gant's request. My brain hurts. It's a little late, so I'm like, trying to piece this together might be a little... What wasn't there? Something that's so obvious. Okay, hang on. Wasn't there. This was found at the crime scene. Or is it just the pieces? Dragons found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Oh. Oh, wait. Hold up. What wasn't there at the crime scene? Hang on. My brain hurt. There it is. This is unaccounted for. This name is unaccounted for as an ID card. The back west, even that is so long as it's facing the right general direction. Did I not get that right? Is that? Oh, that was like the incorrect one. Maybe I was jumping ahead again. Oh, I'm a dumbass. We literally haven't used it in this entire case. I just realized it. I just realized it. It's a silly thing. It's a silly little solution. It's literally this thing. Allegedly dancing the evidence room at the time of the murder. This was not there at the time of the actual murder, if there was one. Badger, 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 badger. It was the freaking blue badger. What about that piece of plywood? I forgot about the blue badger too. I forgot that was actually a piece of actual evidence. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not there. So watch what happens when you put him in. So this is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Oh, that's so obvious. It's so obvious now that it's drawn out. Well, what? That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing there, it would be impossible to place the handprint at the spot of the locker. Oh. What? Hammer, hammer, hammer. So that means, what exactly does this mean? It means it can't be done. Oh god, this sorceress is overgasped. I'm good. The sorceress overgasped. And has no more water to get by. It's fine, we're almost done with this part of this leg of the journey anyway. What are you saying? Blood traces are undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that means this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in? Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash into my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor. It's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time was completely masked by the blue badger. Someone bled prior to the struggle on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Welcome back. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you report really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it on when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins getting cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark in the locker proves it. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? That would be actually this. because you will see Mike Meekins came in at 450, assumingly to put the Blue Badger in there. And Bruce Goodman came in, a quote unquote. That would be Marshall came in. And then Mike Meekins also came in after Marshall. This one is completely unaccounted for. So it was like literally a momentary span to clean up the mess in 20 minutes. Maybe a little less. Which is a little far-fetched and crazy, but off we go. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have had to have entered it. Hey. Yep, we're playing Uma Musume next week. In order to do so, the ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record. Because you can only get in there by an ID card. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place at that time, it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Ha! Miles Edgeworth! What have you done? I never would have figured you'd have the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out what couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away. Clean up the blood, unfortunately that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have been taking place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's take a look at that chart again. There's only one other card that's remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. Oh, that one went British. My bad. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? I love that he's attorney in the world. He can just casually accuse a prosecutor of murder and he'll just argue the point. Yeah, he will. Zephyr Musume. Maybe I'll title it that. Zephyr Musume. In the description or something. Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. Oh! That's the only plausible explanation. He went in together. That makes a lot more sense. He went in with 777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID is 777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. I don't have authority to inquire on such a person's identity. What? You can't? But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation that can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? Y'all like, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I won't say that I had forged evidence in the past, but I am a changed man. I would appreciate it if you keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we looked up her ID number. And it's not 777. Sevens. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In the trial 2 years ago, did you really only use the legitimate evidence? Oh, shit. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. Uh-oh. Hi, Nana. Indeed. At the time, we occasionally felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Anna? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't! I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, I think the movie shows it differently, where they have like a few different stand areas, and I don't know, do they only have like, I think they have 2 different stand areas, but they like switch them back and forth sometimes. Maybe they have just the one. Maybe it's just the one. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. I think the anime shows it a little bit better. I could be mistaken. It's been a bit since I last saw any other form of the media. Why won't you answer the question? Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do. In order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. That is the worst thing to do. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Rabble, 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 rabble! Order! 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 Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. To be continued. But yes. Damn progress. Yes. But yeah, they the live action one is a very interesting movie. They also had a stage play too. They had like a musical on stage as well. Yeah, shots fired in this trial. But yeah, they have a live action movie and it's really fun. It really kind of sticks to the source material. So now that it doesn't show this trial. It only shows up to trial 4, which is the Edgeworth one. So if you haven't seen that, I kind of recommend it. It sticks pretty close to the source material. And then there's the anime. I think the anime includes this one. I don't know. I never watched the anime fully. But they still do have like the anime as well. Feel free to take your time. We're definitely going to probably pick this up probably next week as well. But yeah, because you guys were so awesome in the goal reaching, even for something so silly, I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, you guys now have Uma Musume to look forward to next week. You're welcome. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Well, Uma Musume isn't silly. Yeah, we'll play Uma Musume Pretty Derby next week. Zephyr Musume time. It is time for me to embrace the horse girl, much to my chagrin. I will embrace the horse girl and see what the hullabaloo is about, because you guys are so generous today. But we are going to go raid the lovely jellyfish VTuber Gumi, because she is playing Date Everything, and I want to kind of see like I want to see how far she is in that one. You're welcome. Let's you know what? Actually, no, I was gonna say, why don't you say hashtag Zephyr Musume, but I think that would be very confusing considering we'd never played Musume yet. That'll probably be for the other time. There we go. Got Gumi on the list there. We'll save that as the redirect. But yeah, I am up way later than I usually do for these streams. I wanted to get this trial done. This part of the trial done. Yeah, at least from what I've heard, yeah, there's no males, unfortunately. It's fine. I can deal with the girls. But yeah, I will bounce out. Just do familiar summon if you want to, or just say hi to Gumi. I'm going to leave you guys here. You guys have a great rest of your evening. I will catch you on Saturday for our own version of Date Everything. But for now, thank you for all your support. You guys have been extremely generous today. As matching goals to prevention. Stop. But yeah, I'll head out. You guys have a great rest of your night. And I will see you all on Saturday. Okay? Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye.